So, thirdly, just like what I said recently, emotional intelligence, EQ is so important, especially in leadership. Oh my goodness, if you're a manager, if you're a leader, if you're a supervisor, if you're, like I said, if you're a parent, if you're a spouse, you have to have emotional intelligence to empathize and pick up certain things that people are, I mean, that people are displaying, body language, the tone of their voice, their facial expressions. Having empathy and interpersonal awareness they build strong teams and trust. Like, trust is so important in any organization, in a corporate organization, in a business organization, in a family organization, in a church organization. You need trust. If you don't have trust, it's gonna be hard. I mean, it's like a house of cards. Just being real with you, just being straight up. You need to have trust. Having empathy and interpersonal awareness builds strong teams and trust. So, for example, supporting colleagues through tough tech transitions, and not because, like I said, it can be uncomfortable. A lot of people resist change. A lot of people resist, they resist the having to adapt and having to transition, having to pivot because being out of that norm and being out of that routine, that can be a little daunting for people. That can be a little trepidation. That can be uncomfortable. So you have to support them through tech transitions, and not just tech transitions, but there's going to be problems. As long as you're working with people, which is a part of life, there are going to be problems. You have to have the ability to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that comes with emotional intelligence and, like the previous thing, critical thinking, problem solving skills. Use emotional intelligence to weave through the the things that technology can't pick up, the things they can't read. I mean, because life is not always black and white. There's some gray areas. Like I said, and even with texting and typing in social media. That's one of the reasons why I'm not the biggest fans of social media, or that's one of the things I am not fond of, or the fondest of social media and texting. And that's even one of the things I tell my oldest son, like, it's good to have that face-to-face interactions, a face-to-face connection. So, for example, we recently moved into our home. God bless us with our home a few years ago. New neighborhood, new community. And he went outside and he was like, and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about I grew up, when we grew up, 90s baby, you go outside and as long as you don't go past, for me, it was past a certain stop sign. You don't go up the hill to the back of the neighborhood, but I can go anywhere in the neighborhood with my friends as long as I did the right thing. And I came back before the street lights came on. So like I told my son, I was like, hey, just go out there. Just go out there and, make some friends. Just go out in the neighborhood. And he was like, Dad, what do you mean? How do I go and make friends? I'm like, you just go out there and you introduce yourself. He said, hey, my name is, Elijah. My name is Elijah. How are you doing? And you find commonalities. You find common interests. If he likes soccer, if you see anybody playing soccer, hey, I like soccer too. Can I play too? So that's the thing about